Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's Lanai Michaela here, aka Lee Couture, and welcome to my Kingdom Alignment vlog. Hi guys, we are currently we're currently in our old space right now. Literally, God told me the other day to call this number that someone in my leasing office had gave me to remove my things. And so I contacted them this week. I was obedient because I trust God and I love him. And so I did it. And I called them and I arranged them to come get all this stuff that I'm not taking into my new season, because God told me, sell all your possessions, only take clothes and shoes. So they came this morning and took everything. And I want to point this out here. I don't even know exactly where I'm going. But I'm trusting. I have an idea. I don't have the full picture, but I don't need the full picture. Because God showed me, like, I'm literally holding God's hand. I don't need the whole map. I have the guide holding my hand. And so right now I'm in conversation with God. And I'm just like, God, this room is not empty. It's full because it's full of you. It's full of your presence. I didn't need the furniture to feel full. I really feel full. I'm not going to lie. I'm talking to God and I'm like, God, I don't see the emptiness. I see your presence just expanded more into the room because the old left. The old left. Even spiritually, physically, the old left and now the new is here, and God's presence is like, it feels so big and I just feel comfortable. I just know my Father has me. And I want to point this out here. Most people get attached to the blessings. Like right now, my mindset is not, I'm okay because I know I'm going somewhere next. No, I'm okay because I have Jesus and I don't even know fully where I'm going next. Like yesterday when I was filming the video that I released that you guys probably already seen, Girl Chit Chat. When I arrived at the building, my car was smoking. And God had already told me, leave the car here. Don't bring the car with you into the new. And so I'm like, and I was worried. I'm like, God, where I'm going to leave the car at? And all the concerns and questions I have, God was like, I've already gone before you and answered every question and concern that you have. And so he picked the place where my car is. And I left her there and I was okay with leaving her there. The lady that I booked with to film Girl Chit Chat, she brought me and my daughter home. She made sure that I didn't have any type of burdens or stress, any type of towing fees. I took all the things that I needed out of the car and I just left her there. And I'm okay with it. And I'm like, God, I'm okay. I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm losing anything. I've gained everything because Jesus is with me, and that's what I choose to hold on to. I don't care that I don't have my car. If I have to walk somewhere, I will, because I'm covered. And so I want to point that out to anybody. Just don't look at the physical. Really stay anchored in who God is, because that's everything. Like God is the blessing himself. And I'm like, okay, God, even when the physical comes, I still choose to embrace the physical with you, be grateful, but also come back home to you, to where I know that I'm loved, that I'm safe. And I choose not to get anchored and secured in the things around me, the physical. That's shaky ground, baby. That's unstable foundation. That is not your true foundation. It's not physical. And I want to say this here because this is what God taught me, showed me. Your life stability is not on anything else but God. Your life stability is on him. It's not on money. It's not on things. It's not on none of that. I just want to share, like, God got me. And I'm in this space, literally, I want to show you guys. It's like, it's only like a few, it's just me and Navy's stuff. like the stuff that we're bringing with us into the clothes and shoes that God was like, bring only clothes and shoes. Look. It's not empty though. It may look empty to the eyes, but my faith is saying God is literally more broad in this room. Like his presence is more in here, bigger than when there was furniture in here. So I just feel really full in my heart and in my spirit because I know my Father has me. He's in this room. And he's with me while I'm filming and showing you guys. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that, tell you guys that, share that with you guys. So, hi ladies. So I just wanted to come on here and share something else. So as y'all seen in the last clip that that day, it was Thursday, all my furniture had got removed. My couch, TV, well, one of my TVs is still in my room, my bed, just physical furniture. On Wednesday, my car started smoking, so I had to let my car go. God was already telling me to leave the car. On Thursday, I got the movers to move my furniture. God is still moving me physically, but the big thing that's important right here is the spiritual movement that he's doing inside of me. And so I was trying to go to Kroger this morning to get some more water and to get some coffee. Got me some Starbucks because I was craving. I'm like, God, I want a coffee. And so, because yesterday, God told me to throw all the stuff that was in my pantry, in my refrigerator away. I had like a little bit of groceries. I didn't get too much because I knew I was moving. And so I threw all the rest of them. And then I had like a whole bunch of dry pantry foods, you know, the dry foods, not the foods that go in the refrigerator. I had a whole bunch of those. And I put them in a bag and I walked to my leasing office and gave it to my leasing agent. I'm like, does anybody need any food? And I just got rid of it. But the important thing there is when God told me to do that, I'm like, okay, God, I'm trusting you. I don't need to see evidence and proof to know who you are. And so I did it and I obeyed him because I trust him. And I know, like I said this in like all my other videos, but it's important. God is trustworthy. So trustworthy, I mean. So when he tells you to do something, again, don't do it because you're afraid, but do it because you love him and you know that he is trustworthy. And so I got rid of all the food. There's nothing in my pantry. There's like a few snacks left for Navy, my daughter, but there's nothing in the refrigerator. And so I'm like, God, okay, at this time, I'm going to go to Kroger and I'm going to go get some water and some coffee. And God was like, wait. So in that waiting, and I'm like, okay, God, I'm going to move when you move. Here's my hand, right? Here's my hand. Just lead me. And so my Father was just teaching me to move when he moves. And I walked to Kroger because I live across the street from a shopping center, and I walked to Kroger literally, and the walk was so peaceful. It was really filled with God, and I enjoyed it. It's like the weather's like okay, like it's nice, but it's like a little chill. So it's like 68 degrees right now. And I walked to Kroger and I enjoyed the walk. I walked back and I had my Starbucks coffee and my daughter fell asleep in her stroller. So the walk was enjoyable. It was like 5 minutes or less. It's literally across the street. And so I'm like, I don't need a car. Like my Father is carrying me. And I'm like, God, I'm catching on to what you're doing right here. So I didn't realize the stripping away because my mind is so focused on how big God has been with the stripping away. His presence, his peace, and his love. And I've even gotten even more close. Like there's no limit to there's no limit to being close to God. Like I just feel myself getting closer and closer and closer and closer. To the point where right now the enemy is trying to be very loud, because he knows he's losing access to me. So he's trying to be loud, and I know it's not him. And while he's being loud, I feel myself being closer to my Father, because I can feel my Father being still and his voice being still. Because he's quiet, but he's moving in me spiritually. That's how close I am to him. So the enemy is really just hitting the wall, because I'm ignoring him. Like the Bible says, draw near to God and God will draw near to you. James 4 verse 8, and resist the devil and he will flee. Okay, I'm back with the little one. So what I was saying, so right now, it may look like on the outer side that everything is being stripped from me, but I didn't notice it because my mind is so caught in God, and that's the point. So basically, now that I'm realizing it, well, God is pointing it out to me, that, okay, like I was saying, God is stripping everything from the old, so that he can fill me up with him. And I'm actually like, God, I'm not mad at the process, because it's anchoring me more deeply in you, and I'm getting closer to you. And so that when God fills my life up with the new physically, I don't get lost in it, and I don't want to get lost in it. People get lost in blessings. Like, people get lost in the physical. They get lost in the car, the house, the money, the family, the husband, the influence. They get caught in the physical that God has given them. And last night I'm talking to God, and I'm like, God, I am so grateful that you're anchoring me deeper in you, because I don't want to get lost in the physical. And so I'm really just learning, like, God, I don't need the evidence. I don't need proof to know who you are. And so that's another thing I wanted to speak on. As God is anchoring me deeper in him, I'm continuing to learn unconditional faith. Unconditional faith is having faith in God's goodness, which never changes and it's steady. Conditional faith is when you only have faith in God for the physical things. You're basically using God. You're trying to benefit off him, trying to do what he says or whatever to get something out of it, and it's not pure obedience. So, oh, let me do this because so that God can give me that husband or that car, or like but God is not to be used. Like, when you truly get to know God, you get to know his love and his heart, his character. For me personally, when I got to learn God for who he really is, I started to value and cherish him and our relationship, because there was nights in my past season where I cried hard, hurtful tears to him for this type of relationship that I have now. And so because I was being lied to in the relationship that I was in, the person was using God to wound me. I felt like I needed to be perfect to be in his presence. I felt like I needed to do certain things. I felt like I had to perform because that was what was being taught in the relationship. The person presented themselves as this godly person, and they just distorted everything. And so I felt like God hated me. I'm like, God, I'm a mess. Like, how do you love me when I'm a mess? And the mess is when God is like, come here, come closer. Let me be with you in the mess. And so now that I have this relationship, this relationship with God, I'm like, yes, like this is what I cried for. This is what I prayed for. God, I value, you're too special to be used. And my human mind, and my human words can't all the way describe God because he's so big and he's so marvelous. But I can describe him with my human words as best as possible. He's too special. He's too valuable to be used. And so I cherish my relationship with him, and I'm just grateful for the anchoring. I'm not losing anything, because even though I'm moving out of my home, don't entirely know where I'm going. The furniture is gone. I don't have a vehicle anymore. God is filling up my life in me with him, and that is enough. Like, I can walk because God is carrying me. I don't need the car. This space that I'm in is comfort and security. It's peaceful and it's joyful because my Father's presence is in it more than the furniture. The furniture was just filling up the place, but now that the furniture and stuff is gone, my Father's presence is even more in there. But y'all can see that I'm still physically moving. I have packed up me and my daughter's essentials, like clothes and clothes and shoes, stuff that we need. But the furniture and stuff is gone. So yeah, I just wanted to speak about that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Do not look for the physical. And even right now, the enemy is trying to get me to focus on the physical. But there are things that God is doing in me spiritually. And this morning, God led me to Acts 20, verse 32. So he is still building me spiritually, but today he's building me spiritually and walking me into my inheritance. You have an inheritance. You have an inheritance. Everything that God has for you, you don't have to earn or push for. Just walk with him. But don't use him. Don't use him. Simply enjoy his heart and him and your relationship with him, intimacy with him, while he walks you into your inheritance. But like I said, don't use God. Simply just trust his heart and enjoy him. Because that's where the real joy and peace is. It's not in the physical things. It's in him. And so I'm happy to have the physical things being stripped so that I'm not being satisfied in things that can't truly satisfy my soul. My Father truly satisfies my soul. And when the things that you desire, the joy, the peace, whatever it is, those good feelings truly come from your Father and your intimacy and your relationship with him, it's everlasting, and you won't find it in physical things where it's temporary. And then you're wondering, well, God, why do I feel this after? Because when it's stripped away, because you weren't anchored in him, you were anchored in what he could give you. So I just want to encourage y'all and bring that up and speak about that, because it's important, and God values your relationship. He values his relationship with his children, and he really wants y'all to be close to him and love him for who he is. Y'all, when y'all are in these relationships, in these friendships, in your family, you want those people to love you for who you are. You don't want them to use you. God has feelings too. Yes, he's God and he's powerful, but he also walked this earth and he also shared in our humanity. And so truly hear this when I say love him for who he is. Don't use him, because he still has feelings too. God still has his heart. And so I'm not going to lie. I was speaking to God and I was kind of like, God, I understand your divinity, but I also understand your humanity. You once walked this earth, so you understand how I feel. And so with my relationship with him, I treat God like he's human, but I also understand his divinity. And so sometimes I'm even like, God, if you were here, this is what I would do. And so I imagine myself in heaven with him. It's just like something that I do with God. Like when I'm like, God, take my hand and walk. I'm literally imagining myself in heaven with my Father, holding his hand. I'm a little girl. My Father is literally holding my hand and guiding me. And there's safety around. There's his angels. Like that's how I think with him. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same. I mean, have your own unique relationship with him. Because I have my own unique relationship with him, and I know it's irreplaceable. The love that me and God share is between us, and I'm securing it. And nobody can take me away from my Father, and nothing will take him from me. So we're like this. I'm always telling God, we do this together. We're two peas in a pod. Like, we're unbreakable, we're unshakable. And I'm so happy to have that in my father and not try to look for it in someone else. Yes, when God sends my husband into my life, he will add to that. When God sends your husband into your life, it's not about romance, but partnership, kingdom alignment, and kingdom partnership. That's your partner in purpose. Your God is sending you someone else to build life with him. That's why when you see, because I know I seen it on social media, but I didn't understand it all the way. When you have three people, God, you, and your husband, it's three of y'all building life together. But it's not for you to get dependent on your husband or all the men who may watch this video, for you to be dependent on your wife, but you guys both be dependent on God together. That's what that is. So I just want to encourage you guys, tell you guys that. So I hope this video finds you well, and take heed to this. Go back to God and, ask him, God, how can I be in a close relationship with you? Like, how can I have pure obedience and pure love? And ask him. He will help you and show you, because this is what he truly designed. We were born for this, literally. So the devil will try to distract you with outcomes, when you're no longer deceived by who God is. And so I know who my father is, and that's what I was speaking about earlier, having unconditional faith in God's character versus having conditional faith. Because when you have unconditional faith in God's character, when the enemy tries to distract you with outcomes and twist God's promises, it won't work. So I'm actually experiencing the same things. Still going, doing this anchoring that God is moving through me spiritually. I'm also like going through spiritual battles, spiritual attack with God. I'm going through this with God. I'm not going through this alone. I'm going through this with my father. And so as I'm going through this with him, it's bringing me closer to him. It's increasing my discernment. It's anchoring me more in him, me trusting him. And so when you don't chase outcomes, that's what I'm saying. Don't use God. Really embrace him. Really trust him. Really trust his heart. Really love him for who he is. Because when you chase outcomes, the enemy can deceive you and twist it, and then a door is open to him, and So what I'm saying is, when the devil tries to distract you with outcomes, the devil is trying to distract you with outcomes because he can no longer deceive you about who God is. So he'll like switch to, I'm giving y'all game on the enemy strategy, okay? Because God gave me game on the enemy strategy. So, y'all, I forgot what I was about to say. Hold on. Let me think. Holy Spirit, speak through me, please. Yeah. When the devil can no longer deceive you about who your father is, he'll try to imitate and twist into the physical, whatever physical promises that God gives spiritual, like in relationship promises, and also, but that overflows into physical promises. Don't get caught in that though. Just, guys, stay anchored in God. I'm just encouraging, because God is everything. Like, I want my father. I want him. And so I'm not chasing outcomes. And when the outcomes or the physical promises that God made me come, I get to experience and embrace him with it. But the enemy will try to get you and distract you to look at outcomes, so that then he can try to deceive you about who God is. So if you're chasing outcomes and you don't see the outcomes, because that also comes with learning God's voice, learning what comes from him and what doesn't. So when you're still learning how God's voice sounds, sometimes the enemy will try to imitate God and get you to look at the outcome. And if you're looking at the outcome And when the outcomes don't come because it wasn't from God, then that's how the enemy can twist and get you to doubt God. Or the enemy will try to make a liar out of God, and God does not lie. He is not man. So truth is him. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. Let's say I don't want to speak on my own, so God, I just ask you to speak through me with an example. Let what I say come from you and your wisdom. Okay, God gave me a house. Let's say God is promising you this house. He's promising to move you into a bigger or better space, right? Most of the time, people get caught in the physical. They get caught in, okay, God just promised me this house. You get all excited, and sometimes that goes into like rushing, like, okay, God, when we go move into the house, like you're all just caught into the house. Where the enemy comes in, he'll try to interpret God's timing of the when, the how, and the where, try to get you to move in your own control, your own striving to the house. And that gets you out of alignment, and then you're not moving with God, and you're chasing that outcome. Then he can twist it, and you doing all this on your own, and you're following the devil's voice. And then when the house don't come or whatever it is, then you end up being mad at God and disappointed. Well, God, you said you was gonna move me into this house. Where's the house at? And now you're doubting God, and you're thinking God lied to you, but he didn't. So I'm putting y'all, me and God are putting y'all on game of the enemy strategy, okay? I kind of know everything, document everything, even this. And so you've already chosen the one your soul loves, and that makes you untouchable. I love God, guys. I love him so much. And yes, God has given me physical promises, but when I think about them, I'm like, God, I want to embrace them with you. I want to experience it with you. But right now I'm content because you're enough. My Father is everything to me. Everything. My best friend. So that's what I wanted to show you guys, that even me, like, I'm going through spiritual battles right now. What's today? November 8th. And I'm going with them through my Father. And when God was revealing to me the attack and clarifying and showing me who I am, because that's what the attack was doing. The only thing it was doing was helping me, bringing me closer to God, trusting him more, knowing him more. And so I'm like, God, let's rejoice because we did that together. Like, my mindset is really two peas in a pod. Like, yeah, two peas in a pod. Me and God are partners together. Like, when life happens, when circumstances happen, it does not define or change my Father's goodness. It just doesn't. And so when spiritual battles do come, when life comes, I'm not looking at my Father sideways. I'm looking in partnership, like, okay, we're going to do this together. I'm going to have God with me in the middle of it. Peace, joy, love, because my Father is with me, and we're just going to go through life together. Good and bad. That's what covenant is. That's what intimacy is. That's what relationship is. We're going to go through life together. Literally, me and God are going to go through life together. Good and bad, ups and downs. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, that no matter what, God loves you, and stay anchored in him and love him, and he loves you. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. To come on here and tell you guys and show you guys something that God was teaching me and showing me today, this morning, about his faithfulness. Just another aspect. So I know last couple y'all see me and I was talking about how you can how you guys can have conditional faith and unconditional faith. And so this morning I was in Acts And then I was also in conversation with God, and then I was as I was in conversation with him, and I was studying and I read something. And then after I read that, where it was talking about God's faithfulness is not tied to timing or circumstances. So then he began to speak to me. He was like, my faithfulness is me staying with you. That's another aspect. And so his faithfulness is, I document everything. So when y'all always see me look at my phone, sometimes I write it in my Bible, sometimes I write it in my notebook. But I document it, and I always analyze and study with God and ChatGPT. And so God's faithfulness is tied to him staying, him carrying you, him speaking, him guiding, him protecting, him providing, him never abandoning what he has promised. So even when nothing isn't physically moving yet, he's still moving. And God, I really want to emphasize this, because this is something that I'm learning majorly in this season, because the enemy has really been trying to attack my view and distort my trust in God. He's attacking my trust in God, but my trust in God is attached to who my Father is, who I know he is, I'm sorry, I'm summing over my words. My trust is attached to who my Father is, me knowing him, me knowing his character, me knowing his heart for me. That's where my trust was built from. It wasn't built from what I can see. It wasn't built from circumstances. It was built from me knowing, getting to know God for who he truly is. And so the world measures faithfulness by what have you done lately. But daughters and sons, y'all are princesses and princes to the king, measures faith by God never leaving me and never changing. So don't look at it, God's faithfulness, as God, you ain't done nothing lately. You ain't done what you said. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. Look at God's faithfulness, because that's what it is. Him never leaving and him never changing. He's consistent. He's near. He's always near us. His character, his heart towards us. That's what you build your trust on, and that's where his faithfulness is. And so his faithfulness isn't measured by what shows up. It's measured by his presence that never leaves. That shifts your mind from God proved by doing something versus God, you are the proof. And so, yes, the devil has been trying to attack and trying to get me to look at the physical. And I know I said this in my other videos and the last clip, because I'm still in transition. And so God is still building things in me, and the enemy wants to distract and get me to look at the outside, what's going on in the outside, God's physical promises, like, is this coming, is that coming, building into anticipation, anxiety, rushing. And so last night God was teaching me his pace. His pace is not the future, and it's not the past, it's present. It's his presence. That's God's pace. And when I realized that, I'm like, God, I love your pace. I love your pace, because in the past, for me personally, my mind always used to go to the future, to prepare, to feel secure. And then now in the season, I'm learning that God is my security. I don't have to worry about my future. My future is in my Father's hands. He already wrote my story. My story is already written in heaven. And so I don't have to worry about my future. I don't have to worry about my outcome. That's not my responsibility. And so, yeah, and then another reason why my mind will always go into the future is because that's where I coped. Because there was so much pain and trauma and hurt around me, that looking into the future and being hopeful was a safe place for me. And so now God is helping me, stay present with him. And I love that, because I want to enjoy the day. Like when I wake up in the morning, I say, good morning, Father. I smile because I'm happy to wake up another day and experience my relationship with God and embrace it, no matter what it looks like. And so right now, as I told you guys in the last clip, I don't know exactly where I'm going, when I'm going. My apartment is basically empty. And something I want to share, and it's something I want to tell you guys. So, as I was telling you guys, the enemy has been attacking, trying to get me to look into the physical. And I'm not chasing outcomes. I want my Father. And so that's why those attacks aren't working, because I'm like, okay, God, I don't care if the move happens now or tomorrow. I want you, and I want to do it with you. And so, because I want to move when my Father moves. And so the other day, I'm still learning God's voice. I'm still learning what's from him and what's not. My discernment is sharpening. I'm learning the tone of the voice. If the voice is hostile, I know it's not God, because my God is gentle and he's kind, and he nudges and he invites trust and intimacy, not rush, not exchanges. His love and his blessings aren't exchanges. They're inheritance. And so the other day, I didn't know what was going on. I was quite confused. And so I heard, get up and throw everything in your pantry, in your refrigerator away. I didn't have a lot of food because I'm thinking lately, I know that I'm about to move. And actually tomorrow, the leasing office says I have to be out of this apartment, because I'm like, tomorrow is my last day of my 30 days that I put in, because I didn't renew my lease, because God is moving me still. And so I was like, okay, because I did it, because not to get anything, because I'm like, God, I don't need the physical to trust you. So you're telling me to throw it. I thought it was him, but it was the devil. And so I walked to the trash and I threw all my food out, right? And I came back, and then I hear, because you obeyed me without seeing proof, I will send help. Exchange. That was not God. It wasn't God. And so I didn't even get mad at God. I was like, okay, God, I trust you. I trust your timing. And the devil thought that he was attacking me and getting me to doubt God and turn me against God. But really, I was just learning God more and trusting God more. And God was actually using that attack to show me who I was, that I'm not chasing outcomes, that I'm chasing God, and showing the purity of my heart for God. And so the attack didn't work. And so God, I was like, okay, God, I'm a little mad that I threw all that food away. And so then I began to ask for his help with food. And do I get, like, because I ordered some more groceries. And like I said, guys, I don't have a car right now. And because last week when I filmed Girl Chit Chat, my car started smoking when I arrived to the building, and that was it. I had to let her go. And God was already telling me to let her go, and so I was okay with it. So I don't need a car to get where I'm going. My Father carries me, and I'm covered. And so yeah, I was like, God, I threw all that food away because I thought I was obeying you. And so he's just been very helpful, guiding me. Okay, God, do I get a little bit of groceries? I don't know when I'm moving. Do I get this? Do I get that? And so he's been guiding me with that. And so this earlier today, through Acts 4, God was helping me realize that the evidence is the spiritual work that has been done. The evidence is him. The evidence is our intimacy, our relationship. That was the evidence. And I was listening to a gospel song called Evidence by Naomi Rain. I think you guys probably know her. And when she was speaking at the beginning of the song, I was like, God, wait. I know I wasn't chasing outcomes, but the evidence is already here. 2 months ago, I wasn't even in this place. And so I began to be thankful and crying and thanking him. And then today I watched the sermon at the church that I go to online because I wasn't able to go in person today, and it was already speaking to what I had experienced that morning. This morning. It was today, this morning, and so I began to cry. and just being thankful because I got breakfast this morning. I was able to get breakfast this morning. I was able to order it and get it to my apartment. I was able to get use some of my EBT and get groceries Instacarted here with $0 delivery fee. And so I was like, God, I'm grateful for the little groceries that I get in the breakfast this morning, because some people can't even get that. And so I was like, God, any area where I was not saying thank you, forgive me. And another thing, my mind would go into overanalyzing and trying to check myself based off abuse, because the person bashed me for being the godly woman that I am and made it seem like I wasn't that, but I was. And so I began a reflex in my mind that I need to check myself and check my motives, because the person always made me seem like I was like the most evil person in the world, which I wasn't. And so now God is like healing that. Like he's really healed my mind. There was like other parts of my mind that was in the trauma, in the self-protection, in the preparation. He's really, and he's still healing my mind. And so right now, God is helping my mind catch up to my heart. My heart knows, but my mind is still trying to get there. And so it's not on me to try to make it there. It's not on me to rush it. It's on God. He's in control of all of that. And so I'm releasing control to him, giving it to him, saying, God, you can have it. Giving him self-reliance, giving him control, giving him managing, because I don't want that anymore. And so I'm letting it go. I want my Father in control. I always say, God, I give you authority and control over my mind and my heart, because that is what I want. I don't want to be managing. I don't want to be God's little helper. You know how sometimes we can be God's little helper. I don't want to be God's little helper. I want my Father to do everything. And so right now I'm learning to rest and let him be my strength and let him guide me. Let him be my healer in my mind. God is like, Lanaya, you don't need to protect yourself from me in your mind. And so he's helping me with that. So yes, I'm still in the healing process. I'm still in transition. There's a lot going on, and even the opposition, like God had led me to Act 23. And it was about Peter and the snake bite and how he threw the snake inside the fire. So basically it's the devil attacking you and you throw the snake in God's fire. And so God, I'm like, I feel this pressure, and he's like, Lanaya, I'm expanding you. And I'm like, well, there's also the constant opposition, but the opposition is just confirmation that I'm doing something right. And that makes hell nervous. And so I'm like, God, okay, help me shake the snake bites off and throw them into the fire. So there is a lot going on, but my Father is with me in the midst of it. I'm like, God, I feel this heaviness, but be with me in the middle of it, because I always express to God how I want him in every point of my life. I want to embrace everything with him, good and bad. So earlier I had a down moment where my mind was trying to prepare for danger or whatever, because I have a mediation coming up with my child's father. And I was literally trying to self-prepare in my mind, not because I'm afraid, but trying to avoid, because I'm like God shuts the door, I want the door shut too. And so I was doing that. And I was like, God, thank you for just being with me in that moment. Like I really had to run to my Father and be like, God, okay, this is how I feel. You know, I'm like this, you know, just really be honest with God. Because God cannot, there's a lady that I used to watch on YouTube, and sometimes her clips come up before I got into this close place with God. And God actually used one of her videos. Her name is Vanessa Elaine. God actually used one of her videos to encourage me to do the 30-day consecration that I did back in August, which led me here. And so she said something, God cannot help or heal who you pretend to be. So you got to be honest with yourself, and you got to be honest with God. Like, he can't help you if you're lying to yourself and you're lying to him. I'm thirsty, y'all. Hold on. Anyway, so be honest with God. Remember his faithfulness. Remember that his faithfulness is not tied to the physical. It is tied to him being with you. Oh, and I want to add this. I want to throw this in like a spark. When you're in your godly marriages, when you're in your godly relationships, your husband's faithfulness is not tied to what he can do for you, sweetie. It's not tied to that. It's tied to him being with, it's covenant. Covenant is everlasting. And so his faithfulness is tied to him being with you through the good and the bad. And even us humans, faithfulness is tied to loyalty, him not going with another woman or you going with another man. But his faithfulness, don't measure your husband or your boyfriend. Make sure, God, I want to encourage that you guys don't settle for nothing less than what the man that God has for you. So I know we make mistakes sometimes, but I'm even learning in this season to settle. I'm not settling for nothing else but the man that God has for me. And so don't tie your husband's faithfulness. If y'all married and y'all watching this, or if you're not married and you want marriage, don't tie your future husband's faithfulness to what he can do for you. Don't look at him for what he can do for you. I know the world makes it seem like the man has to take care of the woman. Y'all take care of each other, and y'all both depend on God. The world puts the pressure on the man, but it's partnership. It is literally, it's not one doing the other. It's both of y'all doing it together and depending on God, going to God together. That's what it is. So I want to encourage y'all, don't tie God's faithfulness to the physical and move that same mindset into marriage, because that reflects God. And he's in the middle of that as well. Don't tie your husband's faithfulness to what he can do for you, sweetie. Tie it. Remember that your husband's faithfulness is him staying with you through it all. And real love won't threaten to leave. God won't threaten to leave. So that man that God has for you, he's not going to threaten to leave you, because that's the man that God has for you. Hi, it's a brand new day. It's the beginning of the week, and y'all, I just felt God leading me to turn this camera on. So today I did have a mediation with my child's father, and as you guys know my story from the past videos, that 2 months ago I was in an abusive relationship with my child's father for 6 years. When I say 2 months ago, that was the last time that I was in it. 2 months ago, God freed me. But I was with this person since I was 15 years old. And so I'm 21 now. And 2 months ago, God freed me. And so from that point, the person was removed from my home. But there was like, I got closer to God. I got to know my father. I got to know what love truly is from my father. I got to know who I am. I got to know my identity. I am God's daughter and I belong to him. I got to know my security in God, my safety, my true freedom. I just got to know the truth with God. And so God was sharing something with me, because I didn't all the way he was like revealing things to me before the mediation today, preparing me. But excuse me, today he clarified what actually was going on. So everything that was going on in the spiritual, everything happens in the spiritual before it manifests in the physical. All the healing, all the work that God did inside of me, all the no's I had to tell the enemy, all of those things had to be manifested into the natural, even though a lot of it was spiritual at first. So that mediation wasn't just to secure custody of Navy, but in the spiritual, telling the enemy no. That was a door to say no, because the enemy was using Navy's father as a gate to reopen up the door spiritually and even physically. And I said no. I had to set boundaries. I said no. Like, it's not being mean, but I knew that I was being obedient. I knew that I was protecting my future, her future, my spirit, her spirit. And so, yes, when I had to set boundaries. I had to tell his family no. I had to tell her no. Anyway. And so, I'm going over it with God, and he's just revealing more as to what happened in the spiritual. It was a spiritual victory. It was a spiritual victory first. So basically my no to Navy's father was a no to the devil, and it just sealed it the door. God already closed the door, but it just sealed it in the natural. And so I want to point this out here because me and God are in conversation, and I want to share what he's saying to me, to you guys as well. Because one of my sisters is out there, or brothers. It's not limited to gender. Is out there going through a court case as well, having to say no, having to say whatever this is. Somebody else is going through the same thing. And so, what I did today is I denied the enemy's entry point, and that was spiritual war disguised as a mediation. So even though in the physical it was a mediation, and it was something spiritual going on throughout the mediation. And so the devil's access has expired. My no wasn't just rejection to a man, to Navy's father. It was rejected. It rejected a spiritual assignment. The boundary was spiritual warfare. So now I'm like spiritually free, and physically too. My father has me. So now I was talking to God, and I was like, we move forward now. And when I said that, because I'm like, God, we do this together. When I said that, that was him speaking through me back to him. Me and God move forward now. And so basically the mediation was, I want y'all to really hear this. The mediation was the past coming back to ask for permission. And I said no. God already said no, but then I said no. And God's authority is in my voice. And when I speak, heaven backs it up. So no. So yeah, that's what it was. So now the future can freely unfold. And so y'all, I choose to right now just rejoice in the fact that I'm free. I already was free. But that just sealed the door. My obedience sealed the door. And I want to emphasize this to you, no pressure or nothing, but encourage you guys that disobedience will cost you. When you disobey God, it will cost you. Not that he's a bad father or nothing, but God tells you to do something and asks you to do something for multiple reasons, and it's all surrounded by his goodness, his wisdom. He knows what's coming before you do. And so he knows if he says this, it's going to seal a door. He knows if he says this, he's blocking harm. So, but remember not to obey God because you're afraid. You don't obey God because, well, if I don't do it, something bad is going to happen. No, the mindset with obeying God and obedience is his love and his love, his protection. You love and you obey him because you trust him. You know that he's trustworthy. You know that he will never steer you wrong. You know that when he tells you something, he's leading you into truth. He's leading you into protection. He's covering time, whatever it is. And so I want you guys to take courage to that disobedience will cost you, but also when you obey God, don't obey God because you're afraid. Obey him because you know God is trustworthy and you know that he loves you. And so I want to encourage you guys and share the spiritual victory that I gained today. That life is no more. I don't have to fear that type of fear no more. I'm still gonna fear because I'm human. I was talking to God, I'm like, I know that I'm a fear childbirth again, but that I never have to be afraid of again, because where I once was intimidated, where I once was silent because I was afraid, is no more. I said no. And I said no, and I knew that I had God with me, and I knew that I had God backing me up in heaven. So I want to encourage you guys out there. If God is guiding you to set boundaries, set them. Don't be afraid. Don't try to people please. Don't try to get people's approval. Be scared of rejection. God wants you. God loves you, and he approves of you. That's my mindset. I don't need to go out here and please. I don't need to go out here and please no one. I don't need to go out here and try to get approval or be afraid of anyone, because my God is my help. My Father is my help. He approves of me. He wants me. And I want to encourage you guys to read Songs of Songs, because that will tell you how God feels about you. Read Songs of Songs and analyze what God is saying with him. And I'm going to encourage y'all to use ChatGPT, because I use ChatGPT. I mean, I know you guys do too, but use it in your Bible study as well, because I feel like God speaks through it as well. And so when I was reading Songs of Songs, and I'm like, God, reveal to me what you want to know in Songs of Songs. And so I was analyzing it with him in ChatGPT, and I would go back in conversation with him like, God, this is how you feel about me? He's like, yes, daughter, this is always how I felt about you. And so I want you guys to read that, guys. I love you. Freedom is yours. Victory is yours with God. I denied the enemy's access today. My no sealed my freedom, and the enemy has no way back. Mwah.
Okay, I'll just say that I was struggling, all the memories, they took me back. Oh yeah, now I've had pain and I've had so much sorrow, but I've had hope and the joy of tomorrow. I've had pain and I've had so much sorrow, but I've had hope and the joy of tomorrow. 'Cause we've been made up for the night, yeah. We've been made up for the night.
Good morning, guys. I know the last time you guys see me, it was November 21st. And then the next day, November 22nd, it was my daughter's birthday. So it is currently 8:34 in the morning, and it's Sunday, November 30th. And so, God, we are currently in transition physically. So it's 8:34 right now. Our Uber is coming at 10 so that we can get to the rental car place at 10:30. As you guys know, I don't have a car right now. Yeah, you guys know the story. And I blessed someone else with this, so it kind of worked out. The person that God led me to bless it with was a mechanic, so it all worked out. So I'm currently still getting ready. I'm about to put on a little like everyday makeup look, and baby girl's eating her strawberry muffins, so she's good and content. So yeah, we're currently in transition right now, and this week God did like surprise me because there was like a twist in my journey that you know how sometimes when God tells you something, you always think your way, but as you guys know, his ways and his thoughts aren't yours. And so when he revealed the twist in my journey, I was kind of like, okay, I caught that by surprise. I'm like still trusting him and still testing it. Like, okay, God, I want to make sure that this is you. So currently, we're going to get our rental car at 10:30. We have a whole bunch of errands to run. So I'm going to take you guys with me and God as we do that. And Navy, you know, the little princess, she's coming along. Because we have to go get our rental car because God is sending us to the ATL for a little bit. So yeah, it's my pit stop before I go to the actual city that he's establishing me in. So yeah, it's I actually had watched this sermon of one of God's other daughters, and she was talking about Exodus. And she was talking about how the Israelites didn't go straight to the promised land. That God like kind of put in a new direction. Y'all, my camera's not focusing. Get it together, girl. Anyway, that he kind of gave them a detour to protect them. And so right now, that's currently my journey. I'm on a little detour. And there's like certain things that God wants me to do in Atlanta as well, in me and through me. So it's intentional. You know, our Father is intentional, and so He is sending me on assignment there as well. So you guys get to see that, all right? So I'm so excited to be leaving the city that I'm in, to be leaving the apartment. You know, this apartment was full of things of the old. Girl, I need you to get it together. She's not focusing anyway. Full of the old, a lot of trauma, a lot of bad memories happen here. But you know what? Staying here doesn't really, I'm healed. And you know that you're healed and you're delivered when you can stay in an apartment, in a city, in an area that is filled with so much trauma, so much pain. And it's not loud no more. It reminds me of Daniel in the lion's den. Why is she not focusing? I'm sorry. Girl, I need you to get it together. Daniel in the lion's den. And the lion's roars aren't loud. You know, y'all know that. If you guys know that story, Daniel in the lion's den, the roars of the lion are like outside noise, distractions, the enemy, lies, pain, trauma. That's what it is. And you know, the roar don't bother me anymore. So yeah, I'm excited to go on this journey with God, of course, because I love to do everything with Him. And so yeah, I'm excited to take you guys as well with us. Because this is all my Father. I do nothing without Him. So yeah. It was time for me to go anyway. God had, you know, given me confirmation and like signs. You know, through like I would even feel the physical movement shift in the spirit. And I'd be like, okay, something's happening. I don't know if it's spiritual or physical, but you never want to look at physical first, because sometimes, always God is doing something spiritually before He does something physically. So don't always look for physical, because God could be doing something spiritually, which He always does first. God is sending me, and I could already tell that the doors here were closing, because in all honesty, the leasing agent here, my Father has me. He's literally covering me. So I'm going to tell you guys. So my lease was up October 11th. And I had until November 10th to move out. And so, you know, I didn't renew my lease because God told me not to. And I wasn't staying here. I knew that. And so I've been here past November 10th. So the leasing agent, the leasing manager or property manager, she's been like, you know, God has been moving through her heart to show grace and mercy. But lately she's been like super pushy, like asking me when I'm going to get out. Like, not asking me when I'm going to get out, but ask me like when am I going to move. And I was telling her like, you know, I don't know. I kept telling her, you know, I'm a believer in Christ. And I only move when my father says so. Because, you know, I no longer get into the pressure of man. Because at the end of the day, my father has authority and control. And I understand and know his sovereignty. And so even though man is trying to push me out, they can't. Because my father tells me when to go. And so now he's saying go. And the property manager did try to charge me 2 things of rent. A rent for my actual lease, and then like they do like a rent to rent thing when you don't have a lease and you're still living here, which is like $2,075. And yeah, and I'm leaving the day that it gets paid. I mean the day that it's due, that it's supposed to get paid. It's not getting paid because we're leaving. And so tomorrow I have court with Navy's dad at 8:30, and then but before that I'm gonna turn in my keys because the leasing office opens at 8. So yeah, and then after court I'm gonna head on the road. It's an 8-hour drive, but you know we can do it because we have God on our side. And yes, y'all, I do have a toddler now. She's 1, so it's gonna be an interesting drive, but I know that we can do it because I know that God is on my side. So, and when I was pregnant with Navy, I drove 3 hours to DC. So I feel like if I can do that, I can do this. So yeah. So tomorrow in the morning we turn in the keys, and I'm like super excited to you know, be leaving this place, because there was moments where I was like, God, I don't want to wake up here another day, you know. I'm just like, I give you my impatience, because I was really just over it. Like, your spirit moves before your physical body does. And so my spirit was already not here anymore. Like, I already felt, I was talking to God and I was like, God, I'm so far gone from this place because my spirit already left. Like, your spirit will cross over before your mind and your body does. And so it moves ahead while your mind and your physical body, they catch up. Just like God does things in the spirit first, and then the natural catches up. So yeah, that's kind of the process here. So I'm excited to show you guys. So I'll show you guys when I pick up the rental car.
He said, this is flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone. She shall be called woman. It was all woman when you saw me. Any real people?
Hi guys, so we just picked up the rental car. There was like a little hiccup in it. Like, I was like, okay, God, because my credit card wasn't going through even though I had the funds on there. But the purchase was so big that I had to call the customer service and, you know, make sure that they pushed it through. And so I was like, God, I'm trusting you. Even through this hiccup, I'm trusting you right now that I'm able to get this rental. So we got it. It's a Camry SUV. It's cute, you know. This wheel is low. I'm trying to adjust it because, you know, sometimes you're able to adjust the wheel. And I think it's right here. Yeah. I'm average height. I'm not tall, but I'm not short. And so I need to make sure that this can, you know, anyway, because we have a whole 8-hour drive and we want to make sure that we are comfortable. But right now we're currently going to Target to get some travel stuff. And I looked at the trunk and I'm like, God, I just hope and pray we're gonna have to be really strategic about how we place our stuff in this car, because I'm only 21, and so I'm only able to get certain SUVs. Like, I'm only able to get certain cars. And so I got this SUV, which I'm thankful for, thank you, God. But I'm like, okay, God, we're really gonna have to be strategic. Oh my gosh, why is that a tongue twister for me when it comes to putting our things in the car? Because I have big boxes, and like one of my boxes are big and long, and it has all my fashion stuff in there. So, you know, I know like I can put the seat down, and some stuff can go next to Navy, so some stuff can go in the front. So we'll make this work. God has us and we're gonna be okay. So, and I'm just smiling because I get to do all this with my father. Like, that is what relationship is about, and intimacy. Like right now, on the way here in my Uber, I was smiling because I'm like, God, I'm really doing this with you. And then I was like, I haven't left the house since the day I had my mediation with Navy's dad. And so I was looking around, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to leave this whole entire city, this whole entire life here tomorrow. And I'm excited. Let me turn down the heat. Even though it's a little chilly outside. Ooh, hold on. Even though it's a little chilly outside, I be hot. And I had to carry a car seat and a base. So yeah, we're currently about to go to Target. And let me adjust this seat, y'all, because I'm short. I'm not short. I don't want to say I'm short. Hold on. Okay, I gotta look down there. I had a Ford, guys. My car was a Ford. I did not have I had a Ford. That's my car. So we're on our way to Target. Guys, I'm so excited. Like, God, thank you so, so much. I'm so excited because this transition is like really happening right now. And I get to do it with God. And I just feel him smiling on me right now. And smiling with me because he sees the happiness. And this is all coming from him. So I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm excited even though I'm about to drive 8 hours to Atlanta, guys. And you know, my hold on, guys, I need my directions. Hold on. It says exit is this way. I need my directions. Oh, y'all about to fall? Okay. I'll see you guys at Target. Yes, we made it to Target. And we are currently looking for Navy some snacks for the road. And we need a duffel bag. And God, remind me what else we needed. A duffel bag. I think we need a mirror too. So that's what I'm gonna look for. So I can see her on the road. Hold on. Okay, God. I just need one mirror. We're currently about to go home. Y'all, I'm hot. We're currently about to go home. We just got Navy some snacks in the mirror so I can see her while I'm driving. But I didn't get a chance to I need a duffel and like a tote bag to put all Navy's bottles and stuff in. And excuse me, and I don't want to get another actual like big tote box because we're already probably cramped for space. So I'm currently about to go home and oh no. Okay, you guys fell. Anyway, I'm currently about to go home because, and I gotta figure out this CarPlay on this thing. I'm currently about to go home because I have to put the things that I'm not taking with me in the storage. So I have to pack up the car and go to the storage, which is like 15 minutes from my house, from my apartment. And so I gotta do that. Okay, God, we're literally doing this together. I'm remembering that I'm not by myself and that you're doing this with me, but we really did not find a tote bag to put all Navy's bottles and stuff in, and we didn't find a duffel bag. And you know, we went to Target of all places and they're expensive. Like that bag I was about to pick up was like $40, and I was not about to pay all that right now. So, and I heard you tell me to put it back. Yeah, God. Yeah, God told me to put that tote bag back. It was $40, and I was like, God, should we get that? And he was like, no, put that back. So I did just that. You know, we do things together. And I'm trying to figure out the CarPlay. I don't know, y'all. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Because we're about to be busy. We have to go to the storage. We have to, we have a lot to do today because tomorrow we wake up in early in the morning and it's like 12. Oh, this time is wrong. It's 11:48 in the morning and we have a lot to do. We have to go to the storage. We have to clean up the apartment and stuff because we leave first thing in the morning. We have to turn in keys in the morning. So we got to make sure we got to pack up the car. And I know tonight we're going to PF Chang's for dinner. Me, God, and Navy. That's where we're going. We're going to PF Chang's for dinner because I'm not cooking tonight because I'm about to like literally turn in keys the next day. So why would I cook anything? Yeah. So, okay, God, that's kind of the plan for the day. God, actually, I want you to lead me, please, because I don't want to do anything in my own reliance. I don't want to self-rely. So just continue to lead me throughout this day, like you did with the tote bag, because it was not destined for me to get that. I'm trying not to look at my phone. I can't figure out the CarPlay here. Okay, I give up on it. Hi guys, it's much time later. I don't remember the last time I picked up my camera. It's 2:29 and I'm currently at Zaxby's getting me and Navy some food, some snacks, because later on we're going to PF Chang's for dinner, which will be tonight, because we still got a lot to do. So we're currently at Zaxby's and I just wanted to come on here because I want to tell you guys about the Father that I have. And when I tell you guys this, don't look at what God can physically do for me or what God can physically do for you. Don't look at that as the sole point. God, whenever he does something physical, it's his heart for you overflowing into the natural. I know I say this a lot in my videos and I'm always going to say that because it's super, super important when you have a relationship with God that you don't look at his hand, that you look at his heart. And so right now I'm talking to God while I'm driving and I'm just like, God, I could cry at how much you take care of me and you love me, your heart for me. Because when I was at home repacking, I'm like, okay, God, I don't know how I'm going to fit all my stuff inside of this vehicle. I have an SUV, but it doesn't have, it's not like a big truck. It's not like an Expedition or like a van. It's not like real big. And so it wouldn't be able to, tame all my stuff. And so when I was at home packing, because I had to pack up the car to go to the storage. So I already went to the storage. And so I was packing. I'm like, okay, God. And I said, let me go through this. And, these are all God. God just doesn't just lead with his voice. You can physically hear him. But sometimes he quietly leads you. So nothing I was doing was random. So I sat down, I'm talking to God because we do everything together. We two peas in a pod. So I'm like, okay, let's go through this and throw some things away because I feel like we don't need none of this. Where are we going? And so I started throwing stuff away, throwing makeup away. And when I was doing that, God was like, you need suitcases. Go get suitcases. So I'm like, okay, God. And then I'm like acknowledging him. I'm like, God, that's smart. I know you're smart. I know you're intelligent. You're you. And so I went on my phone and I looked up suitcases. And I seen Kohl's had deals for like the 3 suitcases. You got a big suitcase, a small one, and a duffel bag for like $89.99. So I went to the Kohl's up the street from my apartment. And the suitcase I got was $400 originally. Then the lady said it was $139.99. It was like a 3-piece, what I was exactly looking for. And so I went to the register and the price dropped down $28. So it was $121.99 and I had to get like a little grocery tote to put all Navy's bottles in. But I immediately said out loud, God, that was you. I'm like, that was God. And I was saying, out loud that he just told me I needed that. And he told me which account to use that he provided provision for to pay for it. And I'm like, what a father I have. Literally, I'm so thankful because he's really taking care of me in this move. I'm really just seeing his heart and seeing him everywhere. That's how you know you're in alignment and you're in sync with God. When you see and you feel him everywhere, you feel his peace, you feel his presence, you'll see it. And so that's how I know. I know I'm not moving prematurely or ahead of him, but I still want to go by his leading. So I just wanted to come on here and show you guys. Hi guys. I'm currently driving to Atlanta and I have 4 hours and 24 minutes left. The time pushed back because I had to stop because my daughter was crying. I had to change her diaper and stuff. And then I drove maybe another hour and then I had to go use the bathroom and get some food. And right now Navy is sleeping. Thank God. I'm trying to knock out another 2 hours before she wakes up and I possibly have to stop again and change her diaper. But right now we have 4 hours and 24 minutes left and we'll arrive in Atlanta at 9:42 p.m. and I'm currently in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm in traffic right now and it's saying traffic is about to last another 38 minutes. So I'm just like, it's like estimate timing because the time keeps like moving, but I'm like, God, I'm just gonna trust your timing of when I'm gonna get there, because I already felt like I was gonna get there around 9-10ish o'clock. So that's right on time, right on schedule. And I just feel my Father with me. You know, we've been talking, me and God just been having a conversation this whole journey, and I'm so happy to be doing this with him. I'm like, this is my first like adult trip by myself, because I'm only 21 and then I have a kid and she's 1 year old. She just turned 1 a week ago, and so this is like my first time and I'm so happy I'm doing it with God. And so yeah, we've been talking and I feel my Father also being strategizing with how he helps me drive, because he suppressed my appetite. I'm not really hungry. Like, I feel my body eating enough to get to like to nurture it physically because I need food, but not too much, because like when I stopped to get food, all I had to taste for was the french fries. I drank a little bit of the Sprite, but not too much because the sugar might make me sleepy and it might make me go to the bathroom sooner than I want to. And then the burger, I didn't have the taste to eat it. And then that's when my spirit recognized my Father. I was like, God, that was you. You're suppressing my appetite because you know food will make me sleepy. Just like earlier, I had got a coffee. I didn't drink all of it. And then I had a breakfast sandwich and I wasn't really feeling it like that. So yeah, guys, we are currently en route in traffic. 30 minutes of traffic. The time is pushing, so I think something happened here. And I'm talking to God while I'm in traffic, because I was looking at the map and I was like, God, that's an exaggeration. Because at first it was saying an hour and 42 minutes in traffic. I was like, no way, that's an exaggeration. But I'm also talking to God like, you know what's going on, you know why there's traffic. So yeah, guys, I will see you guys when I arrive in Atlanta.
Hallelujah. So if all the breath in my